Now, yesterday, Senate Republicans released their health care bill, and among the many changes from the House version, one of them includes massive cuts to the Medicaid program. Now, what a lot of people might not know about Medicaid is that it's not just for people who are poor. A lot of disabled and senior citizens depend on Medicaid funding. Now, for example, Medicare, doesn't actually pay for nursing home care. Well, you know what pays for nursing home care? Medicaid. Now, if you drastically cut Medicaid, like the Republican plan does, well, you're gonna end up with people who can't afford to stay in those nursing homes. So that's a big problem, right? Now, the Congressional Budget Office estimates that the changes in the plan put forward by the Republican Party in the Senate would lead to a reduction in spending on Medicaid of more than $800 billion over a decade. Now, combine that, of course, with the billions of dollars in cuts in the Republican budget, and basically what you've got is a program that has been decimated. Now, this program helps 64% of all nursing home patients, 30% of all adults with disabilities, 60% of all kids with disabilities, and 76% of poor children. So that's what those cuts, that's who those cuts would impact the most. Now, Republicans, why don't you tell me how pro-life you are? No, you're not pro-life. You don't care about the kids. You don't care about the disabled. You don't care about the least of us. You know what you care about? If you voted for this bill, you care about tax cuts for the rich. That's what this entire piece of legislation is about and has always been about. See, the almost no difference between the House and Senate version and between all the different versions of Trump Care is the $1 trillion in tax cuts, nearly half of which go to the top 1%. Now, the rest of that, you might think, okay, well, look, hey, man, we still have over half of all those tax cuts. It's going to go to us, right? Wrong. It's all going to go to the top 20%. So, oof. Now, look, if you're poor, you're not going to end up getting any savings. Sorry. In fact, your Medicaid, if you're lucky enough to live in a state where they actually expanded it to other people, if you're not disabled, but if you're poor, but if you are disabled, well, you're still going to end up getting it cut. Now, if you're on the Medicaid expansion, one of the provisions in the bill completely eliminates that expansion, rolls it back, starting at 2020 and ending at 2023, where the program is gone. So they're getting rid of the expansion, and then they're going to deeply cut the program itself because they want to kill the program. They want it gone. They think that, yeah, disabled people, poor people, sick people, fuck them. We don't need those people. We don't need to spend any money on those guys. No. Let's get rid of the program because we don't like the program. It costs too much money. Okay? Now, knowing this, of course, people actually depend on this Medicaid have staged a protest at the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's office. Now, the protest was organized by ADAPT, which is a national disability rights organization. Now, in a statement, they said about 60 protesters gathered for what they called a die-in to fight back in the healthcare bill, which will drastically cut back federal support of Medicaid. So look, these are the people that are going to be impacted the most by these cuts. And in a lot of cases, or at least in some cases, people will end up dying because of these cuts, because they will no longer be able to afford to get care. I'm not kidding. Without the care, or without the care Medicare allows them, or I'm sorry, Medicaid allows them to afford, a lot of these people will no longer be able to take care of themselves. They'll either end up dead or in institutions instead of things like, homes where you help disabled adults be able to live life. Again, these are people who are either have disabilities or they're old and they can't really hold down a job because of those disabilities. Again, without this program, they're in a lot of trouble. But on the other side, you got to think about the other side. The rich people got to get their tax cuts, right? So now these people, they're out there in front of Mitch McConnell's office, and of course he's not there, because why would he want to talk to people, right? The people that he's going to hurt? That's crazy talk. Why would he want to talk to those people? In fact, they didn't want those protesters there just in case Mitch McConnell came back. And, they didn't want him finding the rabble outside his office and to have him be inconvenienced. Oh, perish the thought. So what they did is that they started removing people by force. Welcome to America, where we forcibly remove the disabled for protesting a bill that would kill them. Also, that the richest 1% can get billions of dollars in tax cuts. This is our priorities, man. This is how broken we are as a country. They look at the cops, they're like, we got to protect the rich at all costs. We got to protect the powerful. Well, we got to protect Mitch McConnell. How dare they, how dare he has to see people protesting him. No, we got to get rid of him. Got to get rid of him. Go, go, go. Yeah, I don't care. We got to pick people up and forcibly remove them out of their wheelchairs. Look, I understand. Oh, they're blocking the hallway, blah, 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 right? They still have a right to protest. And you shouldn't remove them. They have this right to protest. Their lives are literally on the line. What do you expect? What do you expect them to do? Just sit there and die in quiet? Like, it's almost as if that's what they want them to do. Like, no. You shut up and you accept this giant cut to the thing that keeps you alive. Because we don't care. Our rich people, our donors got to get paid. Look, man, it's not like we don't have the money to do this. America has the richest billionaires in the world. But unfortunately, because they own the political system and their greed is endless, they need more and more and more. I mean, look, do you know how much they're going to save? If these Obamacare cuts go through, if they repeal and replace Obamacare, because the main thing that they want to get rid of this is the taxes on the rich, right? Those top 400 households are going to save around $7 million a year in taxes. Now, look, that sounds like a lot. Oh my God, $7 million. That's so much. Well, you got to remember the average family in this 400 households range have incomes of $318 million a year. A year. No, when you think about it, when you actually do the math, that extra $7 million a year that they were taking out to pay for subsidies for people and to pay for Medicaid so that these people didn't die. They're going to let these people just get destroyed. They're going to decimate Medicaid for a 2% tax cut. 318 million, 7 million. That's a 2% tax cut. You're going to let all these people fend for themselves over a 2% tax cut. You've got to be kidding me. But you don't understand. They have to have more. Their greed is endless. They got to have more wealth, man. They got to suck up all the wealth, right? I don't care if people of Medicaid die as a result of these cuts. We don't care. We don't care. I don't care that millions of people are going to lose their insurance. 23 million people. I don't care if they're going to bring back things like lifetime caps on coverage. So if somebody who gets cancer and goes past that cap for their treatment, they die because their insurance becomes worthless when they hit that cap. Don't care. We don't care at all. All we want is more money. That's all we need. More wealth. Just give me all the money. Give me all the tax cuts now. Come on. I don't care about any other human being. All I care about is my giant tax cuts. It is disgusting. It's more money they're never going to be able to send. How much is enough for these people? They have legendary greed. Legendary. And people who don't have that money, they will die as a result. And yet, the people who are protesting this injustice of a bill, they're the ones getting arrested. They're the ones getting hauled away. All for not wanting to die. Now, all for not wanting to lose their health coverage. This is what America has become. If you have not looked and saw the heart of America being ripped out, if you are not upset by these images, by this video, if you're like, no, these people have it coming. They're not really all that disabled. They think they have a right to health care. If you actually think that way, you're a bad person. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.